Hello, food lovers. Welcome back to my channel, Naked Fusion. To my existing subscribers, thanks for always being here. If you're new to this channel, it's all about bringing bold flavor, simple meals, global fusion, and fun food experiment. So hit the subscribe button to get notified. Let's dive into today's dish. We're making Ofe Nsala. It's a spicy soup that has been thickened with a starch, and of course, we've got proteins of your choice in it, preferably fish or chicken. I am using fish and chicken in this particular food tutorial. So other ingredients we'll be using are pepper soup spices. I'm using oziza seed, I'm using oyayak, and then I'm using some store-bought pepper soup spices. I'll be using some okra. Stay tuned to know how I use it. It is not a norm in Ofe Nsala. It is not a normal ingredient or like the ingredients you use, but just stay tuned. I'm using some oziza leaf and then some crayfish powder, some boiled stockfish, and I've got a blend of peppers and oziza seed as well in there. And then I'm using old layer chicken, and I'm using catfish. So the reason why I like to use old layer, I think it's more flavorable, and then it's able to cook for a very long time because of its texture, its hard texture. So you cook that for a long time. If you do have a pressure cooker, you can use a pressure cooker to speed up your time, which I did halfway through this video tutorial, but obviously I didn't show it. So after I've cleaned all my ingredients and I've set everything separately, I'm going to start off by blending my peppers, fresh yellow habanero pepper and red habanero pepper with some onions, and then I'm going to add some of this oziza seed, and then I'm going to add in some water to it, just little water to it, and I'm going to blend that into a smooth paste. Oziza takes either you're blending with a blender that can blend it very easily, like dried, as it's dry, into a powder, or you can also use this method. So I'm just going to blend that up, and then I'm going to set that aside. Once we're done blending, I'm going to put a pot on the stove, and then to the hot pot I'm going to be adding some oil, and then to that I'm going to add my chopped carrots, and then I'm going to add my chopped onions. You can see that they're in large sizes, they're not very small. They'll be big because of the long cooking time that this chicken is going to take. So I'm about to cook our chicken, and what I'm doing is trying to build flavor and add flavor into the chicken broth that we're going to use as the base for our Ofensala soup. So to that I'm adding some onions, then I'll be adding my spring onions, and then I'll also be adding some cabbage. Just the back of your cabbage, if you have that green part, wash with vinegar and water and salt, properly clean, and then you can use them instead of throwing them away. You can use them in your chicken meat broth just to develop flavor. To that I've added salt. I'm just going to mix that together, and then I would add my chickens. After I have sauteed my aromatics very briefly, I'm just going to add our chicken into the pot. And the reason why I'm not sauteing for too long is because it's going to cook for a very long time. So you don't need to saute it for too long, except you're using a chicken that is softer, or you're using a softer vegetable, so that it can release its flavor before that protein is being added into the pot. So that I've added some habanero pepper. To clean your chicken, use either vinegar and water and salt, or you use lemon and water and salt to clean your chicken. Clean your chicken properly. So that I've added chicken powder seasoning, and then I'm also going to be adding chicken bouillon seasoning to this. So since chicken is stronger flavored protein, So I'm going to be using more of chicken seasoning. So just mix that up. After you have done that, you're going to mix that up, and then to this I'm going to be adding the blended peppers, onions and uziza mix that I've blended. I'm going to add that to it so that this chicken can begin to absorb the spice. It needs to absorb the spice. I've added some garlic, whole garlic. Now what's going to happen is okay, I changed my mind on telling you that. Stick to the part where you would see what I do, because this soup is supposed to be kind of a clear soup, so the vegetables in here will at some point need to leave the pot. So just add enough water to cover this up, because it's going to be cooking for a long time and we need enough water for this cooking process. At this point, I knew that I should transfer my chicken to my pressure cooker, which I did off camera, and I then put it back on the stove to continue my cooking. So after I noticed that our chicken is ready, I've added some clean chopped yam to this. People use different things to thicken their Ofensala, but I'd like to use this yam, so I'd use this yam and I'm going to allow that to cook properly. After it has finished cooking, I'm going to take it off and then I'm going to pound it and get it soft. So what you just saw me put into the pot is uyayak. It's also a spice. So from this time now, I'm going to be gradually adding things. I'll be adding things gradually and at different stages, and there are reasons why I'm not adding them at the beginning. Now I don't want too much strong flavor of the uyayak, that's why I added it at that point. And the bell peppers, I didn't want them to disintegrate, but I wanted them to also cook and add flavor into our Ofe Nsala. It is also not one of the things you need to use, but this is my own take on Ofe Nsala, how I build so much flavor into my own Ofe Nsala dish. So at this point the yam is ready. We're going to pound that and then we're going to put it back into this pot. While this is happening, I'm also going to strain out this whole pot. I'm going to pass it through a sieve, get the chicken out. I'm going to pass it through a sieve, and then I'm going to have the peppers, all those whole peppers that I put, the carrot and everything, they're going to be left over in the sieve, and I'm going to put the chicken back into the broth, the Ofe Nsala broth, put that back on the fire while I blend all those vegetables. So I'm going to blend all those vegetables and I'm going to put it back into this pot, because we want to enhance our flavor and we do not want to lose any ingredients that we have already developed in this soup. So that's what's going to happen. So you're going to take out your vegetables, you're going to strain it. If you notice, I'm putting them together with the yam, some of which I pounded with the yam. Like the carrots can be pounded together with the yam and then put back, but the ones with the seed, like the peppers, you need to blend that one up so that we don't have any seed in our Ofensala soup. Our Ofensala soup is supposed to be smooth and velvety and spicy and just light, just really light. Okay, so trying to get out all the yam. After I take out all the yam, I'm going to pound that and get it ready for the soup. You can see from this video that I have already added the catfish and the okra. You can look at it on the left hand corner of your screen. So what I want to do is to transfer that into a pot. So what happened was that unfortunately the camera that I was using was overheating and I couldn't take the part where I did put the okra. You can see the okra was cut into two halves. So you cut your okra into two halves, and some you would cut but you will not cut entirely through the okra, and then you throw that in. And this is just for it to develop flavor, not to overpower the dish. So we're just putting few okra into that. So I've added my catfish, I've added the okra, I added some sliced habanero and yellow pepper. I'm saying this so that you don't skip this part. That's why it's important to watch the whole video so that you can get all the instructions along the way. To that, I added some ogiri to the soup. That's what I just added, just trying to dissolve that. So while doing this, we're going to try to be gentle because of the fish, so that we don't scatter the fish, because it still has some cooking time in this pot. And fish is very delicate. They cook very quickly and they have the tendency to break if you are very vigorous with your stirring. So at this point, I'm going to be adding the store-bought pepper soup spices that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to add that to this pot, because now I've added the fish. I'm just going to add this. To this pepper soup spice blend, I'm going to be adding some crayfish seasoning. I'll also be adding crayfish powder. At this point, I'll be adding everything. If I haven't mentioned, I've also added the stockfish at this point. I've added the stockfish to this dish. At the same time, I added our catfish and sliced peppers and the okra. So after I've done that, I'm going to add the pounded yams. So just put them there in a chunk. Don't be bothered. It's all going to dissolve. So just put that into your pot, and then you're going to cover that and allow that to cook. And then what this does is to thicken your sauce. Now a lot of people like Ofe Nsala in different level of thickness. I like mine slightly thickened, not overly thickened, because I don't want to be heavy on the starch in it. So to that, I've just added uziza leaf. I've added uziza leaf because I'm about to get this down the pot. So the cooler it also gets, when it gets colder, the soup tends to thicken up a little bit. So this is my own definition of, oh, this is how thick I want it to be. Okay, it still looks light. Some are thicker than this, but this is my preference. So cooking is usually using same ingredients to your level of tolerance, to your level of preference, how you want it to be for yourself. Okay, but if you're cooking for somebody else, you need to know their preference and you need to do it to their own preference. So this is basically everything about the Ofe Nsala soup. Season to your taste, put salt to your taste. So that's it, and we serve this with pounded yam. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to be trying this dish, what you'll be serving yours with. To my old subscribers, thank you for always being here. If you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please do not hesitate to hit the subscribe button, like and share this video. Until next time, keep exploring. Bye.